I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. This is Winter NAMM 2018 at the Anaheim Convention Center. We're in the Elektron booth. We have something really cool for you to check out here. New synth. This is Jake. Jake, good to see you.
Hi.
So tell us what we're looking at here.
So we just announced this at NAMM 2018. It's the Digitone, or you could say it as a Digitone. And this is an 8-voice digital sampler. I'm really sorry, this is an 8-voice digital synthesizer, not a sampler. And at its core, this is FM synthesis. And this is an 8-algorithm, 4-operator synthesizer at its core. What we wanted to do, we wanted to modernize and simplify the FM synthesis and bring it in today's standards. So therefore, we worked really hard on interface and the sound design to make it streamlined as possible. So therefore, we limited the parameters, but we made it very easy to come up with interesting sounds, and anybody can use it. You don't need to be an FM guru. And personally, I never programmed FM synthesizers. I wasn't lucky enough, but I have no problem programming this. Another cool thing, we have a harmonics parameter here, because as some viewers may know, that FM synthesis is made out of sine waves. And you can see what it does to the waveform. You're kind of like shaping the wave there. We also have a detune parameter where you can detune the 4 operators, because the operators are fixed, so we allow it to be detuned that way. And this is quite extreme actually when you go up to these values. And you can see this is a high resolution encoder, so you have a lot of values there. Then we have a feedback parameter with awesome graphics. And you will be feedbacking in the operator depending on which algorithm you have. And one of the most unique things that I would say about this FM synth is the XY output, that I have a mixed parameter here. Now, on all our algorithms that we have blessed on the synthesizer have an XY output. So you can see, for example here, that there is some kind of like an output from the A modulation in a Y, and an X is kind of a sum up of all, for example, on the 5th algorithm, etc. Now you have like BB works for X, Y, and then other AC works for X. So this way you always have some kind of 2 interesting waves where you can mix and balance in between. Moving on, we have 2 envelopes here where you can, this is where you apply the FM modulation. So if you have a sharp, let me clear the sound and start from beginning. So this is the sine wave, and it's like the neutral start of a FM synth, and if I raise this, you can straight away get these classic FM tones. And if I go back to this page, and I will see that A is modulating the C. So if I change the A operator, oops, sorry, that was the C operator, I get some really come up with those sounds very easily. Then followed by, we have a multimode filter, so you can get really angry FM tones, bizarre tones, and tame them up there. And we have another filter, so you have 2 filters in after each other. And this is like a bass width filter, so you can shave off some frequencies. And you have a multimode filter here with its own envelope generator. Followed by an amp, which you have a traditional ADSR envelope for your amplitude. You have a digital drive to add some hair to the sound. You have chorus delay, reverb, sound effects, and you have 2 LFOs. You have a lot of options to mess around with there. And we wanted this machine to be accessible by everybody. Therefore, we worked a lot with the presets. It comes over 500 presets, and let's have a quick look through them. each of the synth tracks offers you an arpeggiator as well. Let's have a quick look at that screen. So I access the Arp Screen by this button here. And I will turn the Arp on and set the speed to something like this. What's unique about this arpeggiator is that the arpeggiator itself has its own sequencer, as you can see here. And so it just sounds like a normal arpeggiator would do. Let me see here. Yeah, now it should work. This is how a normal arpeggiator would work. We have a range. But what we wanted to do is, of course, push it a bit. So now you can change the notes of the arpeggiator sequence. I just randomly changed it, and this is the result I have now. Can get these freaky FM tones that it's been kind of forgotten under the carpets. Right. So we wanted to bring it back here, and it's not finished yet. So we have this awesome sound engine. We also have a sequencer, the Elektron sequencer, that we're quite well known for, I think. And so we have 4 tracks, and here I have a basic beat on this track number 1. So I press play. Because of the sequencer, you can apply different stored sound, different presets per step. So I can hold this step and say, okay, I want to have a snare sound here. So I assign the snare sound just for this step. Or I could say, okay, I want to have, there you go. You can just pick randomly and it will kind of make sense. So each step is a totally unique sound. Let's unmute the bass track. So I'm going to make the bass angrier now. Let's hear that. Sounds, and I'm going to unmute the whole pattern so we can hear the whole thing. And what's another cool feature we've added here is that to be able to manipulate the whole 4 synth tracks at the same time. So if I press this button and tweak parameters, I'm going to be changing the 4 synth track parameters at the same time. So I can change all algorithms, the filter settings, and whatnot. There's a lot of parameters to mess around, and once you have messed your sound up, you can reload very quickly by pressing function and no, which equals the reload pattern. So when I press function, the blue legend is active, basically. Let's hear it anyway. We can reload back to where you are. So your compositions can be performed quite easily like that. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is we have the Digitact here, which is the Digitone's best friend, or the Digitact is Digitone's best friend. I don't know which one they will put it around. The output of it is going to the Digitone inputs. Now we have a master section here where I can treat the inputs as like a stereo configuration. For example, if I raise them, the inputs like this to 100 level, and then I set the panning to left and right, so it's a stereo configuration. But if I had 2 monosynths coming in here and I'm using the MIDI sequencer to sequence them and put them back here, I could, pan them as I like and set the levels as I like. And by doing this, I can apply the send effects to the incoming audio. So this is going in here now. Yeah, you can do that. And they sound really good with each other. Let's check that out. Yeah, so that's the Digitone, and it's available now, and pretty short that's Sweetwater, I think.
I believe it's already on our website.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, I mean, this is really exciting. What a powerful synthesizer.
Yeah, it is, and we're really happy to show it because we believe that it is something unique and different, and it's also easy to use at the same time. And personally, as a musician myself, I mean, this thing is like the sound of my dreams. Finally, I have a platform that I have a true polyphonic synth with a sequencer in a box, little box like this. And another thing is cool is that we have the USB ports, which will be available for the overbridge connection in the future once we are ready to release that into the wild.
That's awesome because everything can integrate together. That's really a great way to approach it.
I think so too, and it's a great little package like this. And the price is around, I think, $780 which I think is a, yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Jake, thanks so much for the tour. This is an incredible instrument. I think people are going to make a lot of great music with it.
I really hope so, and I want to make great music with it too. So yes.
Great to see you. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining me at Winter NAMM 2018. We've been checking out the Elektron booth here in the Anaheim Convention Center, and I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.